Hey, it is Stephanie O'Brien with Moved by Purpose, and you are listening to the Moved by Purpose podcast, and now you are watching me on video. Today, we are talking about the 5 life-changing habits to develop right now to be wildly successful in life. Now, if you can bear with me, I probably will be glancing at my screen to read my notes. I will be reading word for word some of the responses that I gave to someone who wrote into me a question, but I'm sure that is okay with you. Now, I have noticed that I've been saying the same thing over and over again about successful life habits in order to be really fully alive and thriving in this life. I think the world thinks that success is just about money, status, possessions, what you own, how much money you make. But you also know that's a big bag of goods. There's plenty of people in this world that have status, that have fame and fortune and stuff, yet die of suicide, drug overdose, end up in jail or drug rehab, and have horrible, horrible life. That is not what I would call a successful life. What I'm here to tell you is the 5 habits to develop today to be wildly successful in life as a whole. And yes, financial freedom and well-being is definitely a part of it, but not all of it. So, Andrea wrote into me asking me about what habits I have and daily routines I have that has led me to the success that I have today. And I absolutely love this question. So the first habit that I wrote to Andrea was habit number 1, value the health of your soul. Make spiritual development your highest priority. Now, all 7 areas in life, which is physical or health, personal development, spiritual, family, financial, social, and what am I missing out? I said personal development, health, family, career, financial, social, and spiritual are the 7 areas of life that you need to develop to have balance in the Wheel of Life. Now, the Wheel of Life is a document that I have attached in the show notes or right in this blog if you have chosen to read this rather than listen to it. If you're listening to it and want to go to the Wheel of Life document later, it's right in the show notes. And you can also check out my website at movedbypurpose.net and just search Wheel of Life. Anyway, value the health of your soul. Make that number 1. I personally believe that your spiritual development needs to be your highest priority. That is what you start off with. Why? Well, your soul, I believe, is where your mind, will, and emotions are. We are a spirit, we have a soul, and we live in a body. So, not to get too theological here, your soul is where your mind, will, and emotions are. We are responsible for the health of our soul, what we feed it, what we put into it, what content we pay attention to, what words we're speaking, or what words we allow ourselves to believe. If you hear my dogs, I am sorry if you hear that. That's very distracting. That would be my dog Uno. If he comes in and you can see him by the door, you can just ignore him. Anyway, so I strongly believe that the health of your soul dictates the decisions that you make and the person you show up to the world as. So if you are not feeding your soul, your mind, your will, and emotions, and if you are not making that priority, the lies that you believe, the stories that you're telling yourselves, the words that you're abusing yourself with, will all dictate how you behave around those around you. Or you can speak life-giving words, words of love, positive affirmations, reading scripture, reminding yourself of the promises in God's Word, whatever that looks like to you. You may not prefer the Bible, but that is my book of choice that I start off with every morning. So here is my specific daily routine that I told Andrea about. I said, I am a person of faith that values spiritual disciplines. So I would say that my number one daily practice is to spend time in life-giving content and time-tested wisdom. For me, one of those sources is the Bible, specifically the book of Proverbs, and I happen to read a chapter a day. I also pray daily. So my spiritual health is my number one priority. Moving on to habit number 2 that will help make you wildly successful in this life. Become a daily, lifelong learner. Entrepreneurs tend to be personal development geeks. I mean, I geek out. There's many entrepreneurs I talk to that love Jim Rohn and Tony Robbins and Michael Hyatt and all kinds of experts out there. We saturate ourselves in business development books, selling books, any type of book that helps us develop and get us closer to having success and achievement in a goal that we have right now is what you will find many business leaders, entrepreneurs, people that work for themselves doing. Now, does that mean that you find that only in entrepreneurship? No. I also know people that have traditional jobs that also love to learn. So, and they have a more well-rounded and more fulfilling life because of that. Now, that's not the only area of success you need. You need to deposit in all 7 areas of life. And again, check out the Wheel of Life document that I included in the show notes. Here is what I told Andrea about my specific daily routines when it comes to being a daily lifelong learner. Now, at a minimum, I suggest an hour a day in learning, no less than that. And this falls under the personal development category in the Wheel of Life. I learn 2 to 3 hours a day. Now, you can work up to that. And I know that it sounds like a ton, but it actually is very possible. Now, I absorb myself in podcasts and audiobooks. I'm not big on video or reading. My first thing is audio. Then it would be video. Then it would be reading. I like audio because it allows me to learn while I cook, fold laundry, go for a run, do yard work, any other chores, get ready in the morning while I'm driving, because that's how I can get the 2 to 3 hours in. If I need to carve out a whole hour just to read, or 3 hours just to read, that becomes a bit more challenging. So I like doing my daily responsibilities and tasks that I'm already going to be doing anyway while listening to personal development material. And that I do for 2 to 3 hours a day. The third habit in helping you become wildly successful in life is to show up to serve. Show up to serve. You heard it before. It is more blessed to give than to get, but you need to be careful with this one. A lot of people will give for wrong motives. And I myself have to check to make sure I am not giving to win favor and to make a new friend, but I'm giving out of love, out of joy, and out of cheerfulness. Not out of obligation, not to manipulate, not to win a friend over, but simply because I want to and expect nothing in return from that person. Now, I say expect nothing in return from that person. You will get a return because that is the law of giving and receiving, or sowing and reaping is another way to phrase it. When you sow or give, you do reap a harvest. This goes with both the positive and the negative. If you do not have grace, love, and mercy, you probably will experience that few people have grace, love, and mercy extended towards you. It just happens to work out that way. But if you do show up and love people and have grace towards people and are merciful towards people, you will find that many people will have that same type of honor given to you. Now, does it happen to be that way for every single interaction you have? Absolutely not. But you will find that most of your interactions will be pleasant. Now, that's not to say that you never have difficulties and you never have people that test you to develop your character. Iron sharpens iron, but it is to say that you will have more peace and joy in life when you show up as a person that you want to see more of in this world. Be the friend that you wish you had. Be the change you wish to see in the world, as Gandhi says. So just be careful about your motives. Here's what I specifically wrote to Andrea regarding my specific routine on this. When I learned to show up to serve, it was a total game changer for me. When I first taught others to serve me rather than to serve them, I was in a world of hurt. I was frustrated. You know, it was all about me and my needs and my goals and my wants, and I never really slowed down enough to consider what do they want and how can I help them get it. We hear this a lot, but when it actually clicks, when it actually resonates with you, when you have your aha moment, this will change your life. It is a game changer. So show up to serve others, to meet their needs, to help them get what they want. And as Ziegler said, when you help enough people get what they want, you will get everything that you want. This leads me to my fourth habit that I strongly suggest to develop right now in order to be wildly successful in this life. And that is to watch the company that you keep. Be careful with who you allow to be in your circle of influence. Jim Rohn has said that we become the average of the 5 people we hang around the most. And I personally believe that this is true. I have seen this play out time and time again, and not only in my life, but in the lives of those around me. You need to be very careful about who you allow to speak into your life and how often. This isn't to say that you need to cut out every relationship you have that isn't life-giving and supportive and encouraging of you and your goals. But if you just simply focus on your goals and are faithful and actively engaged and diligently working towards your goals and your development and your dream, you will gain more friends that will help you succeed in that. You're naturally going to attract people that are doing the same kinds of things and that value it and that will serve you and help you succeed. And organically, or more naturally, those that don't want to come along with you will simply choose not to come with you. You will notice kind of a gap in between where they are and where you are. You'll have less in common, and it just will naturally take care of itself. So you don't have to have difficult conversations of, I can't be your friend anymore. Just focus on you, do you and be you, and it will take care of itself. And my 5th habit to develop right now to be wildly successful in this life is to get accountability. Get accountability. Your strongest circle of influence should love you enough to call you out when you need it. To encourage means to call out courage or It also means, or as well as is more of an appropriate phrase, is to put courage in you. So a lot of people focus on the encourage or to put courage in you. But it also means to call it out of you. So it's putting it in as well as pulling it out. And I'm not saying to call it out as in to take it from you. It's to call it out and have it acted upon. So we all have our blind spots. We all do. We cannot see everything. And that is why having a healthy circle of influence is so important. Because these people are going to honestly and boldly speak things into you and out of you that you need. I'm so grateful for the people in my life that are able to see things that I otherwise would never see if they didn't bring it to my attention. Now, these people will be safe and kind and loving, but they'll also be bold and honest. So safe, kind, loving, but you need them to be bold and honest as well. So those are my tips for finding a healthy circle of influence. Look for people that will be safe, kind, honest, bold, loving. I think I did that right. Safe, kind, loving, bold, and honest, as well as being bold and honest. There we go. I'm not even going to edit this out. I'm just going to keep it real. I'm not perfect. We're just going to show it as it is, flaws and all. So those are my top 5 habits that I strongly suggest that you develop today in order to be wildly successful in this life. Have you noticed that none of it really talked about finances or possessions or status or power? Those things will probably come to you. Maybe not in the way that you want it to or the way that the world says that means success. But if you show up to the world like this and you serve people like this every day and you take care of you and you serve and love the people in front of you, you are powerful. You are influential. And you will find that all of your needs are met. If you're not over at movebypurpose.net, get your butt over there. We need you there. We love to hear your comments. I love to hear your questions. I love to answer anything that you may have, as long as it's in my area of expertise. I'm not going to pretend that I know everything. Don't ask me about cooking. I don't know much about it. But I'd love to hear from you. Tell me your story. And I'm excited to announce that I am giving 2 free coaching sessions away for the month of July. Take advantage of this. Don't miss out on it. Now, if you're listening to this in August, you missed your chance. I'm sorry. But act now. But in order to do that, you need to register for the newsletter. Subscribe to the newsletter. And then email me that you're interested in the coaching sessions. And we will arrange with you to get you on the calendar. And I will talk to all of you next week. Bye.